YouTube.
Awesome, we're live. Cool. And
Let's go. I think we left off at
here we go.
yes, the judge.
Oh boy.
Do you want to? Should we look through the court record real quick?
If you wish.
Let's go. Let's look real quick. Ah, an armband.
Yes, an armband.
Report prepared by Scotland Yard coroner. No, coroner.
Coroner.
Gives
It's coroner.
Coroner. It gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound. Yep, that man's dead. Missing a button.
Oh, wait,
Let's
what?
examine in detail.
Let's see. Button is gone.
Huh.
You know that's gonna come up.
Yeah, every little detail. The knife is entirely visible if the face is obscured. The face is partly obscured? What do you mean? You can clearly... I can see the man's eyes.
I think it means from the outside, my guy.
That's fair. Okay. Got gloves. The defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. Blood stain. Good. Gate Cedar omnibus. Scene of the crime. The passengers. Oh yeah, I remembered. I remember something cool. Is that it has... Yeah, there it is. Phoenix Wright omnibus. A largest knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Its quality, a fancy ornamental suggests it's quite valuable. Okay. It's got a W for woman.
Or an M.
Or an M.
I feel like it's a W.
Okay. Just pull off the sheath. I've read this before. There we go. Blood. Okay. Refreshed. A list of debitors is Bruce Fairplay, who would have been due to repay his loan immediately. Ford guy.
Imminently.
Okay. Boop, boop. Oh yeah, no name also voiced him.
Oh yeah, Stronghold. Yes, I remember too.
Zeeks. That's the victim.
The victim. Beppo! The bus driver.
Lady first. Bruce Fairplay. Beppo. Okay.
Beppo!
Ready.
Yes. 20 Guinness. The victim owed a considerable sum.
And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. Ellipsis. Well, it won't be seem I've had the world put out over my ears.
Eyes.
Of my eyes. Regrettably, madame, that is the modus operandi of
Operandi.
whatever. And it's such a pretty little park too. What a scoundrel.
Oh yeah. The Irishman had a park made and she likes the park.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Still. Maybe it's all for the best.
Wait a minute. Let's think this a little more before we...
I don't stand for nonsense!
Well, I gotta say that's the fastest I've ever lost a case in an Ace Attorney game.
My man has just given up and just decided to kill himself. Jesus Christ.
That was it. The last juror's decision. according to the Encyclopedia of British Law, that book literally has everything.
I'm telling you, it's a fucking dictionary.
When all
a
members of
dictionary.
the jury...
It's a dictionary that's Oris and
A
also
dictionary that
several
also
laws.
has information about different laws as well.
When
Yes.
all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh! There's a footnote, though. A footnote? However, the defense...
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case.
Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision.
According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections.
Come on, Renisuke.
Miss Sassato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summatation examination of the jurors at that point. Summatation examination.
Objection!
I think that's the first time we've heard that man say objection.
Yeah.
No, it's the second time actually.
I never heard it the first time, or I forgot it.
I remember hearing it. A summatation examination? I feel like his voice has changed, man. From which century has had that tome you have there been resurrected?
Ah!
Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
Oh. What even is it, Miss Sassato? This so-called summatation examination. Oh, one moment. I'll read about it.
Why do I feel like she secretly has a bookshelf in both her sleeves? You were damned the right to a procedure before you even understood what it entails. Typical nonsense. Nipponese. Typical Nipponese.
Alright, Mr. Naruto, I think I understand. It seems that under the procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what exactly? Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. It says here that, if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions?
Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really, so it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why.
Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try it in this day and age.
Good thing I have no self-respect. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that, although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct.
Next thing you know, he says, "Who the fuck let this bitch in here?"
What do you think, Mr. Naruto?
No, in this case.
I give up. Assimilation examination, our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat? Ah, damn.
I would love it if you just didn't
Do it.
forget it and it showed credits.
Do it. Do it.
All
Forget about
right.
it. Oh.
The defense wishes to assert its right to a summitation examination, my lord.
Objection! London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to examine. Can I get some help?
Exemplify?
That's
I
what
can't
it
read
is.
that word.
Exemplify.
Thank you. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure.
We're making the
Right?
background text, turning off the opacity on the background text, help.
And it's just my eye. I'm just a shit reader, to be honest.
Are you typing or eating something?
I'm opening chocolate. Shut up.
Okay, just wondering what that noise was.
Summitation examinations are not an embarrassment. Are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection! But it's alright. But if it's alright, it's alright. I believe it could prove vital in this trial.
The defense's position is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summitation examination.
This is madness.
Sparta!
Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready?
Oh, was that me? I think that was me.
Believe so, yeah.
Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so...
All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision.
On what grounds?
You will almost justify your decision and explain why you believe that defendant is to be guilty.
Well, my lord, you're rather putting this on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
I don't really hold with this justifying lock.
That seems to have thrown some jurors off. It seems none of them have experienced this before. Alright then, the summitation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe, it might be the opportunity we've been looking for to turn this trial around.
So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of this most serious crime.
Magnus McGilded, more like Magnus McGuilty.
Wait a minute.
Hmm?
Is this gonna
It's
be
like-
something that happens a lot?
Possibly.
Probably.
More than likely.
We're cross-examining the jury.
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it had to have been him.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
He stuck the chat next to him like, yes, he did. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen.
Good Is this guy allowed in court to do that kind of motion?
Must have been him.
Who was this?
I can't remember.
That was Troy. In a
Was
hike.
it?
Yeah, you were doing like some kind of like rich woman thing.
Was I?
I think
I
so.
think it was you.
Was it me?
I don't remember being her. I remember being the horseshoe guy.
Oh shit! Fuck! I didn't even read what that said.
You can trust a gal, fair fares, or motto. All you haven't raised our prices above 40 pence for years.
That scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief!
Let's see.
Typed
I
up
simply
journal
typed,
for.
Statement made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Ah!
Hmm.
Okay, so she's going with logic.
I thought there wasn't any logic in a Phoenix Wright game.
I'm starting to wish I
There's
hadn't.
very little.
I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I got at them and use some very persuasive language.
All I heard from all the juries was bullshit, 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 bullshit.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruto. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was gonna have to thaw their icy. I thought I was gonna have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusion by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Oh dear, I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruto. Right, sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is by using the juror's own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to be present a unified front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the juror says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see. We're gonna start a brawl in a court. Fun.
Fuck yeah!
So it's
One of them has a knife.
Not literally.
So it's contradiction in
Aw.
what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
Boo. I wanted the fucking jurors to
Find
protest.
contradictions in their statements and pit jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. Oh, he did 2 slaps. I have to pull this off.
Can we start the proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal.
Yes, my lord. Don't I just look dashing?
Mm-hmm.
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
How would you know that?
Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim and Mr. Gilded were alone inside the carriage. Precisely my point. But, could there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet? Such as... perhaps that's something we could, all work out together now. They just referenced the first game.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn.
Now listen here, maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign claims. But we're here to form our opinions as individuals, and I have. Oh dear, he doesn't appear to be in the best mood to consider an alternate point of view, does he? No, I'm gonna have to pit the jurors against one another, like Sasatosan said.
Pressing isn't gonna work here, really.
Pressing isn't?
Not really.
Finding
There are
contradiction.
two contradictions you can already find right now
Okay. Let's see.
between these 6 people.
Okay, there was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver, he has an excellent memory. It seems 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Just took the Chapman. Absolutely brazen. Okay.
What?
Fares totaling 20 pence,
Yeah,
but it's 4 pence. How can it be 20 pence?
exactly. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
They do. Explain yourself, counsel. Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
Swear on Silver Blaze's mane and name. I haven't the first idea what you're talking about.
According to the group testimony,
Goddamn, a
heard
walk
so
cycle?
far- Yeah, I know. There were 4 passengers on the omnibus in the night of question, and according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
That's not animated. That's fucking mocapped.
Fuck, I can't remember who voiced her.
I don't know that.
I swear I wasn't the one.
I don't know.
Right. Read it, Glenn.
Okay, quite right. I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. And jurors number 5 also told us the following: the fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. Troy?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's me. That is it. A fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated.
But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts.
Why, man? Why?
4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication,
It would be 16 pence.
exactly, as I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare.
One person's fare.
Ow! Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Good gracious. Also, my wig fell off.
This can't be right.
No, not the wig.
Coachman of the Guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword.
The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchguard, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon.
Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus.
Ooh.
Alright then, how do I make it so a miserable trial doesn't end? Alright, you just put your fist on the thing and then raise it back up.
Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire onto the innocent side of the set of scales. Now hold on your horses there, coachman. We are all in agreement. Why do you have to go and...
Wait till I get my hands on you, people.
Yay, we flipped one of them.
This is very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Oh, dude, no.
I'm gonna do the same.
Yeah!
Even better than one.
For the love of Mike, not you as well.
But he can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witness again.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. You did it. If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. 2 more, actually. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. Then that's where you must strike next. So we need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show that there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly. You can do it. Did you just read my mind? Because I didn't say that.
I think
Well,
so.
scales of justice have shifted, but they still
Starts
lie
to
on the
secretly on
guilty
mind
side.
reader.
Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summonation examination.
Okay. I'm changing my leaning toward innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Braslin, I must say, absolutely Braslin. Simply have typed and calculated statements made thus far and drawn a logical conclusion. Beepo, this trial has to continue so I can get the bottom of this corruption. Not guilty, I say. Scoundrel stabbing a poor man on the...
They weren't on the floor though. They were in the seat.
That's what this man just said. Objection!
There we go.
Those 2 statements are completely contradictory.
What? Explain, Counsel. Post haste.
How dare you blame an old woman? How dare you me? I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
What is all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you?
So you gave him the wrong. You gave this guy like a.
Oh,
fancy,
well.
Like a.
Oh,
fucking,
well. I already read it once.
I know, but like claptrap. We've heard
Claptrap.
from more than one
Mocap
witness.
cycle.
We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of the curiosity, juror number 3.
Sorry, I was yawning. What? Can't you see I'm busy here?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it?
Want to test me, do you? It was like this. I fell next to him without even getting up. Just like a prim banker said.
Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true.
Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He struck the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move. Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor.
Well, I never. But they're stabbing in totally different directions.
On number 3,
Troy?
Troy.
What? I said it 3 fucking times.
You gotta move your mic
Your mic was
closer
not picking you up.
It is close as it can be.
Bless my stitches. What a muddle.
What this tells us
You
is that
changing
there's
what's
a
on the
strong
screen.
possibility one of these witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh,
But why? Why the dickens would they lie?
I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't admit people telling lies. Abide. Shit. I'm gonna have to take my headphones off for a second so I can get changed. One moment.
The scales.
I don't believe it.
Oh, my phone!
Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Dark Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if two of witnesses have slightly different recollections of an event? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. Now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that,
Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you.
Back under my toe. Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you.
They're ready to kill each other now.
I'm really fucked up.
But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same... To be fair, it is possible.
No, it's
Well,
not.
yes. Fuck. Because I was about to apply logic to this game again, and I was like, wait, no, fuck, I can't do that. This game doesn't
Go to
follow
the-
logic.
Go to the court records if it says anything about multiple stabs.
The
That's
court record, the autopsy report only says he was stabbed once.
As a
Oh,
single
yeah,
stab
yeah.
wound. Okay, thank you for being... Thank you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you dark jinx? Come on, out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. Get it, steer? So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. In fact, there's only one way I'm going to convince him to present him something he can't possibly dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of question that the two witnesses saw the two different moments of the same crime as proven by... Oop, heckin'.
Oh.
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed only once. Only
What?
once. It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time.
You turned on autoplay.
Which means the... Oh! Thank you.
Alright, I concede defeat.
I was wondering what was going on. Thank you, Andrew.
What's going on? Huh? What happened?
Oh,
I was lying down. You what?
We presented evidence that the person was only stabbed once.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Everything.
Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruto. We've won!
Why does he look like? Why did he look like he was about to shit himself at one point?
What are y'all playing at, you dandy fool?
Shut your trap, sir.
Oh my god! I can tell you this. Shut your trap is actually something still said nowadays.
Well, yeah.
And if you hear someone say "shut your trap," then you know it's gonna be a good day.
You got one more line, Troy.
Oh, I thought it was it. No one deceives me.
But we had a consensus.
I said shut your trap.
Good accent.
I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross me the threshold to my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Why are you
Coated it-
licking your blade?
I've coated it with the most toxic of poison. I shouldn't have licked
You
that.
actually,
Please
you actually
tell me
did sound
he's
like
a
someone
barber.
from the northern end of the UK. Where he does look like he's
Well,
he's
in a
blonde.
quite remarkable turn of events, the defense summonation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, bitches.
I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon you all. I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth.
Yay.
So, Lord Von Zykes, continue to substantiate for the case for the prosecution, if you please.
Let me just pour myself a drink first.
Just smelling the aroma.
Mighty blood.
Oh my god.
I was half expecting him to, like, either throw it or break it.
Having savored the rich aroma of the serum and contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crushed to dust. Pray forgive the discourse.
Lord Van Zykes.
Is it cold in here or is it just me?
As you as your antiguated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summonation examination. So I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. On guard! Bring forth the witnesses once more. I legit thought he was going to pull out his sword. Witnesses! I trust you heard the summonation examination we have just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir. That I did, sir.
Of course I heard it.
Oh, yes, sir, I heard it.
Sir Onion, the coachman, I I believe it's Beppo.
Oh! Yes, sir, my lord, sir.
If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh, me, oh dear.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
Woohoo! I only carried 4 passengers that night. I swear it. What about
Well, I was one of. Yeah, I was for one. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for that bus.
He fiddled us on the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. That's all too much.
I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes.
Oof.
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please.
The phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cozenage. Hey, Horseshoe, you there?
Beppo, and yourself.
I'm terribly sorry, Gilsman.
Guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand you've been overcharging your passengers by a penny a fare?
It's so cold in the last run of the day as always. Half empty.
You have been dishonest, coachman.
That is a look of pure disappointment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. And your self-actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild.
If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each. Yep, 20 pence. I've done an arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently. No, that figures.
Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please.
We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summonation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parallel games.
Absolutely.
Why am I not surprised?
Okay.
I only carried 34 passengers last night. I swear it.
So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right?
It's impossible to make the last run of the day pay. I was so cold. It was all I could do. Stuck myself passing out.
I'm getting chilblams just from listening to you.
Shut the fuck up! Odie, give me a second. It was terrible, so I wanted to give myself a pat on the back.
Why'd you go over to the banker, Glenn?
Glenn?
Why'd you go over to the banker?
Let me check.
It usually-
They're
Oh, I'm
showing
seeing,
it
us
usually-
I'm seeing if they're like showing anything.
I think it usually prompts them, right?
Oh, it's just to be safe.
You can continue the text. Doesn't doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny per passenger?
You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there had been a fifth passenger on the omnibus that night, then we would have had another suspect. Okay. Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4? Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir.
And I just told you I did.
Not fair of my friends across the board.
It's not something to be proud of.
The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed, it's gone dead and buried.
I'd have been happy if I had ever existed in the first place. If it had ever existed. Heck. He fiddled us unfair, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well as too much. Wait, what? This blood-curdling sight? You mean the murder, I presume? Yes, sir!
a loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror of in the man's eyes at the moment his life is taken.
Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed.
Good gracious, really?
We have another witness who did. However, the banker has already testified to it.
But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant. I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see? That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating.
Even with aw. Okay.
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him?
Mr. Guilty.
Troy? Huh?
Your mic is cutting you out.
Fuck me, goddammit. That's
Yeah, I heard you.
that,
There you go.
that's what I said, isn't it?
It was rather bothering me before this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question.
Anyway,
True,
there
he
was only
did.
2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't there?
There's been much talk of a fifth passenger, but as yet, zero evidence.
That's what we're wasting time for, eh? It's a black and white. The man's guilty.
Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's right.
You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip.
I suppose. I might have, you know, yes, but God, or the horse, maybe?
What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. Oh, great, so I'm playing the character that just spews out a bunch of bullshit. Cool. I was... I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats of the roof deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
Then when I turned around, yes, I saw it, through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right, yes, and the fellow holding the handle was the famous man.
So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all?
I really thought that I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I? You might as well just cut me off. I'm just spewing a bunch of bullshit.
Look around. Pursue. Excuse me! Excuse me!
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay?
Now listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh.
Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed?
Nah.
The driver or
Could he
the
have just happened
banker?
to see the exact moment the crime was committed?
The man driving the car, driving the stagecoach, is also looking down at the at his passengers while driving a coach. I don't think that's possible.
No.
Is it?
Bullshit.
Hold on.
Something like that.
Hold on. He sits on the outside of it. Go back. Go look at the stagecoach.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. How is he going to be able to see down the skylight through the mother?
Oh, we noticed something. I remember this. Hold on. Nope. Latch.
That's where they said.
I remember this latch
Yeah.
being a thing.
It only opens from the outside.
Yeah.
Don't know what that has to do, but yeah, if he's sitting right here.
Oh, that's why. That's why.
There's no way in hell he can
There's
see it
nobody
there.
in the front two seats. by the
Yeah,
way.
but here's the thing: is that he still has to he'll have to peer.
You have to get off of it just to see
No,
inside.
if
man.
he looked
You'd
down,
have to
if
stand
he
up.
looked down, he would be able to see that, but he'd have to turn around and look at the exact moment. So
Yeah, so no,
there's
it's
no
impossible.
way. There's no way in hell.
And the only thing that got his attention that something had happened was the
The
person's
scream.
scream, which means he missed the moment when it actually happened.
I like that
Yeah.
we're doing this all in the middle of in the middle while we're talking. We're just like, hold up, gotta look at the trolley.
And also, even if he did hear the scream, then he would turn around towards his carriage
Okay.
to check on his
No
passengers.
chance. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on top of the omnibus, that is.
Peeping. I'm a respectable city banker, you know. And I know what I saw. I remember as clear as a ball rat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you.
Thank you, Mr. Fairplay.
Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar. There, my lord.
I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw.
Alright, can do that, alright? I'll tell you just how grim it was.
Do we know Mr. Fairplay's first name?
No.
Bruce.
Fair.
Bruce.
His first name is Fair.
Probably Bruce, I think.
I can't remember what it was.
It might be.
You know,
Do
I
you
think
think
it
I'd forget
is,
the
'cause
side?
the debt ledger has his name in it.
Do you think I forgot the sight of those blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed the man?
Hold it. Blood soaked.
And well, perhaps soaked is laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there's definitely blood all over them. Both were covered in it. Wrong.
And you saw that from
No.
the roof through the skylights.
Well, the skylight's reasonably large, so I had a pretty good view.
we have the
There's a
gloves.
lamp on
though.
inside the carriage as well, so I'm quite sure what I saw.
This banker's latest statement. I feel that there's something not quite right about it. Yeah. When you
Check the
feel
gloves.
something doesn't add up, Mr. Naruto. That's when you should
Stop
have
giving us a tutorial.
Huh?
Stop giving us a tutorial.
That's when you should
Every
have a
time.
good look at the court record.
We've already had the tutorial trial.
We've already had the tutorial trial for like, I don't know, what was it, 3 hours?
Yeah.
Not long ago, this trial was very nearly to its end. Somehow we managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light.
Check
If
the
I'm not careful
gloves.
When you press these witnesses, then danger the jury might end up believing something unhelpful as they did before. Maybe, but we can't let fear. Come on, let me talk to the people. I know what the contradiction is. Yes, you're right. I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among these witnesses. Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, hey, don't hesitate to persuade them as their reaction. That's what I did.
Check the gloves that the guy had on.
I have to present it, I think.
Yeah, because I remember last time only one of them had blood on it.
I think I'd forget
Memory.
those blood-soaked hands after the man stabbed me. Okay, take a look at.
Also, he's wearing gloves. He was wearing gloves anyway, so how did his hand be blood soaked anyway?
Exactly, and there's only one that's blood-soaked. Objection.
Well, I wouldn't really call it soaked.
Blood-soaked
Call it lightning
hands.
soaked.
Well, I admit the soak might be light. Oh, they already read that. Definitely blood all over them. Both of them are covered in it.
Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar.
What?
What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question.
Oh, yeah, right.
And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove.
Oof. Ow.
In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent.
Yeah.
You're full of bullshit.
No. That can't be right.
You're a lying bastard. Now shut up and go to jail.
Go, no name.
So you're the liar here then. Mine was off somewhere else for a second there.
You were quite clear about it. You said, I were both hands.
Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth?
Objection! It was a simple mistake. You can clearly justify accusing this man of lying. You can't. Yes, it wasn't both hands. It was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was the only key.
No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw the blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court.
Why, I'm gonna say the bank. Hey, my word you go be good gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Understanding members of society don't be Eradicated.
Man. Shocked this man so bad he went to 3 different voices in a passing minute.
I'm eating peanut butter.
Oh, you're eating peanut butter? Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you eating peanut butter?
He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the
Good.
case? Mr. Naruto, if we had some evidence that explained why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this trial completely. And I know what evidence it is. Something to show this man is compelling reason to imply. There, I have evidence. I remember it from last time that we played. My lord!
Yes, counsel.
The defense is ready to present evidence.
By Jove, are you sure?
Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay has reason to lie in his testimony.
God.
This man is going to snap his cane in half.
I don't know how to make anime sounds. I'm not going to voice actor.
And hereby call the defense to present its evidence. The evidence
good?
that demonstrates the motive for the witness's alleged
Oh
deception
my
of the
god,
court.
Troy, that scared the shit out of me.
Right. That was my sound for him.
We threw up.
Take that!
Take that.
This is the list of
Suck my
the
dick.
debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded.
Yes, a list of innocent victims coupled by the accused expedition. Yeah, whatever.
Point is,
That's
among
what
the
it is.
names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
Oh yeah, his first name is Bruce.
Exclamation mark? Y'all ever just exclamation mark in public?
Yeah.
No.
Quite a
Mr.
few times,
Fairplay,
yeah.
Are you currently indebted financially to the accused?
Oh, no, well, it's not barely where they'll be called a death.
What?
To be
I have
fair,
peanut butter in my
Troy,
mouth.
to be fair, it also helped because the character was also chewing on something and their lips never closed. So,
I literally could not hear a word.
according to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say?
Ah,
Jesus Christ.
well, out of it.
Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case?
These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between 2 individual parties. Therefore, we, the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment. All outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist.
Cease to exist? Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw? And a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant?
I mean, that's only one way to get out of debt. Not the best way, but still, it's a pretty good way.
Order! 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 Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
Yeah. My lord. My lord.
Stop
Let
eating
me
your
ask
peanut
you
butter.
again,
Hold up.
and
The
can you-
text clearly had him with his stuff in his mouth, so he
Yeah.
said, "Oh my lord."
That is very
Yeah, that one time.
I was acting, my guy.
Troy is Troy is being character.
Hey, well, you don't need the peanut butter anymore, so put it away.
No.
And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications on your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is allegedly have thrust a knife into the victim?
The next
Your
line
silence
is
speaks
sucked.
volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony.
All right, now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch,
A pinch?
but it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands, both of them.
And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained.
So you keep saying.
Hold on one moment.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I'm asking Ethan if you can take him on a walk real quick.
man, I love peanut butter.
I've only
I
had it
hate
once.
You've only had peanut
and
butter once.
It was horrible. Yes, it was horrible.
My God, I could eat peanut butter every day.
Okay, well, there's a
No.
different reason why I don't eat peanut butter, by the
The
way.
British have no sense of taste anyway, so it's alright.
Oh, I'm sorry for being in a constant state of fear, not knowing my allergies.
That's fair.
He's got to get.
Yeah, that's why I don't eat a
Because
lot of shit.
Only bitches have peanut allergies anyway.
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What?
Yeah.
What?
I have a feeling there's something going on with his hat.
It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
Crystal.
Yeah. Mr. Naruto, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Oh my goodness gracious.
Why did after you read that, the first thing that came to my head was Kermit going, Yo! That was not kind of nice at all. But you know what I mean.
Troy, I fucking hear you licking that spoon, you bitch.
Yeah.
Troy.
There was blood on both hands. The assailant, I sincerely, distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I did not see the
Put the
exact
peanut butter away!
if that matters.
Put the freaking peanut
I
butter
remember seeing
away.
the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them.
Sorry, give me a second. I didn't actually say anything myself, no. Not until I heard that scream. Have you put the peanut butter away now?
Anyway, the fact remains. There can't be seen anyone else in a carriage, or will have been seen. No, I have not put the peanut butter away.
I heard you put the spoon down though.
Well,
Is that
lo and
good?
behold, truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment of the crime was perpetrated.
I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside the carriage, and the man's hand were covered in blood. Incriminating evidence is tantamount to say we saw the man do it.
That's really not what testimony is about.
Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more.
Please, dear God, no.
The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat.
Corroborating.
Corroborating the witness's account.
Collaborating.
In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of this case. I can't read a fucking two-letter word.
Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Cross-examination. Okay. Let's see what we get. No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record.
Well, I'm aware of that, sir. But nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both of his hands.
He's defiant even in the face of hard evidence. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw, but why?
Your reasoning is dire. One hand or two, the salient point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped guilty from the accused fingers.
Is not going to pick up on whenever I do a
At least there's not too many of these. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of crime is a matter of fundamental importance as well as you know it, or as you know.
But we're crying out loud. We all know that no one else could have possibly have done it. I was just trying to save us all some time.
You have a loan of Jesus Christ. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not?
No name. How much is 20
Guineas.
guineas actually?
I was about to ask that.
I'd assume.
How much is 20 guineas into real money?
What do you mean, real money?
You know, USD, dollars.
I don't
mutual
fucking
euro.
know. Why you asking me that? I'm gonna be on the fucking pound rating right now. Give me a second.
For real
I
money,
believe-
no other money exists.
Man, I would love messing with the British.
20
I'm
guineas
assuming
to
it's like
USD.
And so,
I'm sorry.
What?
probably like a few mil.
It is. It is 0.0023 US dollars.
Oh.
I'm thinking this is like 1980 or whatever.
That is very fair. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's say this took place in like 1850.
I believe so, yeah. Just to,
I'm gonna
that's
go
why
to
it's
Ethan's
gonna
room
be-
real quick and tell him to take him on a walk.
Yeah, okay, while we try to figure this out.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Let's see. What do you mean storage is almost full? Fuck off.
I do believe a guinea is like
Okay.
what they used to use as like pounds and stuff.
A guinea is 21 shillings and a pound is 20. Oh, so
Oh,
it's
I just
okay,
realized
so-
I'm muted.
well,
He has a debt of 4,800 pence.
4,800 pence, huh?
Because
four-
1 Guinness is equivalent to 20 shillings, which in 20 shillings is equivalent to 12 pence.
Man, old-time money is weird.
Or 1 shilling is equivalent to 1/20th of a pound.
1/28th of a pound. That's 1 shilling, yeah?
1 shilling is 1/20th of a pound.
Okay, how much did you say? How many shillings goes into a guinea?
20.
20.
That's $53.12.
That's a lot back then.
That is very much a
is-
lot back then.
Yes.
How much does that equate to now?
Hold on. 53
120.
US dollars.
Checking inflation prices.
Yeah, how much?
So what, would a guinea be like an eighth of a pound? Meaning, guinea would be...
A guinea is equal to 1 pound.
It is or isn't?
It is.
Is.
It is
A
equivalent
guinea is a pound.
to $784.85 today.
Oof.
Okay. Did you talk to Ethan?
Yeah, he said he was going to after his video, which
My brain can't handle this. I'm not gonna freaking do this.
He owes 20 pounds.
Or $700
what?
in USD right now.
Real money.
Yeah.
Just 20 quid?
Keep in mind that this is also
That's like a good few hundred years. This is like 150.
pre-inflation prices.
Yeah.
He owed money.
He owed money.
Hold on a second.
Had you hoped to release
20K,
yourself from that
yeah.
financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty?
He's what, 20k guineas in debt?
Oh, well, that's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea for 10. I backed the wrong horse in the 30th off. You're all back. Picture this weekend. Sure. Here's a gambling at it.
Did you move your microphone away?
I'm putting my peanut butter up.
Ah, okay. A little guinea or 10?
I'm a banker. No one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend.
The judge has given everyone a disappointed look so far.
I think you may have revealed more about your character than you may have bargained for, sir.
They saying he's stealing from the bank as well?
Just
Yes.
a little bit, yeah.
Dang. First overcharging, stealing from a bank. I wonder what this other kid's fucking crime is. Murdering the guy, probably.
Okay. This witness's
I mean,
scruples
that's not
are
out
not
of the
on
realm of
trial.
possibility. I mean, to be honest, that's probably
Proceed
what
to
we're
the
going
next
for here.
witness.
Is that really how it's supposed to work?
I'm trying to figure out how much.
I remember
20.
Hold it! You definitely saw that too. Blood on both hands? Yes, sir! I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGilded's gloves has any sign of blood on it.
Continue on my wow.
That's right.
The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilded sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing the gloves? That's correct, sir. I saw the blood on both of his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see.
I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question. I was trying to figure out how much he owes nowadays in pounds, but I couldn't. Reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilded gloves' hands. How much did you say he owed in dollars?
Like
Will I make it big?
$781.
Okay, I'll check that out in a second. You can continue the text, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
There wasn't blood on his hands.
This is puzzling indeed.
This must be significant somehow, I'm sure of it. So there wasn't blood. So we got for that is like there wasn't blood on the hands?
There was blood.
Yeah.
The man was not wearing gloves at all when he actually stabbed him, but somehow there's now blood on his glove, and there wasn't blood on his hands when he was arrested.
Hold it!
Stuff isn't adding up.
No, it is not. You didn't see anything?
Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. I didn't. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab the man. Wouldn't you agree, sir?
Senor Aiden, but I was certainly making up stories.
Still, to say you saw nothing isn't right either.
No, sir, I saw nothing, nothing at all.
Mr. Beepo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no?
Ellipsis.
Oh, please, you didn't even see that?
It was so cold that night, you see. It was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen solid. Sorry to say, sir. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the late omnibus service of London's cold winter night.
Troy?
Beepo!
Ah!
Alright. Hold it! And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight of the roof on the omnibus?
That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh, yes. I remember I was shivering. It was so bitter.
It was so bitter. I think it was something I haven't heard of.
Which
I
really
can't believe y'all still have horse and carriage over there in Britain.
Yeah, so what, bitch?
I mean, we have it here. It's just for rich people.
I
That's
was
true.
gonna say, we have that too.
Yeah, but that's their common mode of transport down there. They still duel each other with flintlocks.
And your point is?
Y'all are a less developed society.
Troy,
Boy.
you're gonna get by chance hated by the British community.
1 second, I just need to make a call real quick.
What do you call the queen?
Troy, don't you dare!
How about instead I call the king?
No one cares about him.
Yeah.
He was king for like what, a week?
I will say I've
Yeah.
heard nothing of a king in Britain. All I've ever heard of was about the Queen.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to
Right.
fucking do shit.
That's fair. Okay,
Oof.
Andrew. Before this gets
Which rather
political.
begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place.
Well, I don't know about this young fella, but I couldn't get into the cabin.
Oh, why not?
It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door.
It was locked.
That's right, and it's a public bus service for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. Yeah.
Yes, I had
hate
exactly
that.
the same
that's a good thing.
experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up on the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Well, I can assure you I wasn't looking down. I was just glaring long and hard. And that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else in that cabin, I would have noticed.
Unequivocal, I say.
I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylights?
Is it weird that sometimes when I say an S, it kind of sounds like I whistle a little? Or like I sound like it's
You might
holding
have
it,
a
like I'm
small, you
holding
might
it a
like
little
be
bit.
leaving a very tiny gap between your teeth whenever you go s.
I kind of feel like it does, to be honest.
They might not have been able to.
I'm gonna say they might not have been able to just because everything has
Well, we
been
don't
going
know.
on.
Could they really have seen
Yeah.
everything inside through the sky? Probably not.
Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight and the floor of the upper deck, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
In that case, there's a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you.
What?
By golly, really? Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied. That at the time of the incident, could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
Objection!
Oh my god! Wow! Enough hypothetical mandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you
Tonight.
Substantiate.
you substantiate your claims. I don't even know what that word means.
Show proof.
After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the wood.
Very well. I will uphold the prosecution's demands. Gee, I wonder what side of they cannot see.
The one right below him.
They were here all along. It was the horses.
They were the horses all along.
No, they were
the
they
horses
were
all
underneath the wheel bus.
They were right here.
along.
Let's see. Right. Bam! Both rows of seats on the roofs face the direction of travel, whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other, which means the visible part of the cabin which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skyline is as if drawn here. That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite to the one which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from my view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Objection!
Don't object my objection.
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. I'll object your objection all I fucking want, bitch. You Nipponese have a forbidden habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. Listen, I pay these witnesses to lie. Now shut the fuck up and let me win.
I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain this conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
Can you, Mr. Naruto? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof deck?
It says you have an inkling, because I'm thinking you're probably gonna fail if you haven't.
Okay, let's see. We got her. No, couldn't have been Strongheart.
Who are the two people that it could have been in that cart?
Bam and Bam.
And we know where the victim was sitting.
Yeah.
He's incredibly...
There's been no.
What if
there's
this was
no-
a suicide all along, just to fucking paint McGill as a bad person?
Nobody has given clear evidence of where Mr. McGilded was sitting, so it is very possible he could have been in the blind spots.
Possibly?
That's fair. I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name.
Where the fuck is he? What?
He's rich, my guy. He just bought another one.
So
Where did he pull that from, though? That's what I'm getting at.
Amazon.
ye old Amazon.
You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. Just give up now, bitch. You ain't winning this shit. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned.
Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat.
This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, The person occupying the seat in the omnibus that was obscured from view was... Yes, it was Miss Susato. She arrived on the ship before me. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we certainly haven't spent the entire day together and didn't arrive on the ship together or anything.
The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. McGinnis McGilded.
Mick.
Mr. McGilded?
What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant.
Objection! Oof.
Oh Jesus Christ, he's just broken another fucking thing. If I describe this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy.
You say that after you did it.
Lord Van Zykes.
Shut up, my lord, I need to speak
I
right
like
now.
how the judge is now actually getting on to them for like shit like that, because you know
People talk.
the other judge.
Yeah, he allowed people to be whipped. And
Yeah.
himself to be whipped.
Shit. Anyways, people talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly.
What are you trying to say?
I think he's calling you fucking insane, mate. Let me explain in terms that even a student of an airless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested that to the fact it's the very
Premise.
it's the very premise on which this case is built.
But that premise may be wrong.
What?
If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an
Ugh.
inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
What inconsistency, counsel?
The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claim that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim.
Objection! Yet we have the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
Yes, their testimony remains unchanged.
Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony revealed the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on the passenger's hands, both of them.
And who was this third party?
You.
That's not my job. I am the defense. Obviously, the true culprit.
It's obviously someone else. Like I said 50 minutes ago.
Order, order, order. What exactly are you postulating?
The defense is the defense is
Postulation.
The defense's postulation is just that nothing more than conjecture.
Conjecture.
The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
Three illiterates play Ace Attorney.
When elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces.
Yeah. Tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though.
Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly halted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
What particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First?
Hatters wearing hats, what? Looking at people, looking
I'm
at
afraid
hatters
I
wearing hats.
don't remember. And you
You
call yourself a
hold on.
hatter?
The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin.
How can you be sure?
Because I was secretly the third passenger. Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to dispose the fact.
Oh, that's right.
Da, da, da.
Unless he had reason to keep the person secret.
He ate a steak that was drugged.
For fuck's sake.
With a poison that could only go in through an injured vein.
Shut up. Unless that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed even to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he travelled.
He's right. If there was another person traveling in this
Who
enclosed
knows, they got a
cabin of
slow
the
moving
omnibus,
camera.
it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it.
Dramatic scene. They got that slow moving camera
Yeah,
panning.
exactly.
Order. There is clearly a simple solution to this problem.
All y'all are guilty.
Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand.
Well, what say you, counsel?
Nah.
The prosecution objects, my lord.
On what grounds?
As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police.
Yeah. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely?
Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. If it indeed turns out that the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act.
Counsel for the defense, what's your opinion?
My lord, should we ask Mr. McGilded to testify or not?
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Kinda need him to. Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. Raising my hand, the defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand.
In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury.
Yes, I need a little time to consider this.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say.
Get the man out here, I say.
It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony.
When something needs doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild.
Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say, oh yes, that would be lovely.
Yeah, yes, the jury says the man must be heard.
Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once.
You're telling me everyone doesn't stand in the court at the same time now?
Now, maybe what's actually happened that night will finally become clear.
Doubt it.
Let proceedings be resumed.
I was gonna ask if you guys wanted to halt for now, since it's
Yeah.
all right.
It's technically-
What am I going for?
About an hour and 40 minutes.
Oof. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
old.
I'm
Alright,
not fussed.
just to we got to